Hello, everyone, and welcome into HelenKennard.com. I'm Helen Kennard, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And tonight, we've been challenged by Stampin' Up! To use two coloring techniques on our next card. And they gave us a sample of what they were talking about, and we're going to make that card. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut us our card base, 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to take this one and make it a little bigger than what we need. I'm going to set our card base aside for a second. We're going to take this. Now, one of the techniques that they used, and we did this a couple of weeks ago, is using our brayer. We're going to ink this up. So, and you remember when you use your brayer, you want when you want these feet up when you're brayering. When you put them down, you're putting them on their feet so that it doesn't touch your paper. So we want to turn it so that ours are up and we can ink it. So we're going to ink this. This is Fresh Freesia. Okay. So I'm going to go in one direction. Ink it up until you get it the color that you want. There. I like it. So I'm going to set this over here on its feet. So that's one technique. And our second technique is going to be using our embossing paste. And we haven't used this in a while, so I thought we did it just in time. So what I did was, this is a piece of retired cardstock. So if I'm going to use it for something that I don't want to use some of my good paper on, or the paper that's not retired, it's too expensive not to do that. So I did this on a piece of retired, and we're going to set it down in the middle as much as possible. A mask. Now you can use whatever you want to use to make your inside. I'm making my round. I made it using the Stylish Shapes. So I cut a circle. Now if you've never used embossing paste, it's a lot of fun. All you have to do is, it comes with these little palette knives, and you just add it to your paper like that, and add it as thick as you want it. Do you see how I'm holding on to the cardstock? Now in this case, we want it a little bit thinner. Do you see that? So not real thick, because we want some of that showing. Then you put it back in your container. I put that back on, and then set all this aside and close it up really good. So we don't want the air to dry it out. Now, There it is. Look at that. You take this off and you let it dry. It takes about 10 minutes. So we're going to sit here for a few minutes. I wanted to show you how to do that. It's kind of like adding a piece of vellum on there, because you can you've got the shape that you want, and the color's going to come through. Now, I'm using the stamp set and dies called Sweet Bugs. And I wanted to show you a couple of the cards that I did at a stamp class last night. Let me run get them. Look how cute these are. Hello, friend. Isn't that cute? Spread joy. Oh, this one's so sweet. If you come to my class, this one is Cards Made Easy. So you can see how cute these cards are. And they're very easy. I've done all the prepping, so a lot of it is just assembling. We do have a little bit of stamping and coloring. Who doesn't like to color? Isn't that adorable? Just a little bit of coloring, stamping, and then just coloring them in. So that's where I'm getting this from. I'm going to be using the mushrooms, some of the flowers, the butterfly, snail, and dragonfly. So a few of the elements out of the dies to make this card. So I want to show you what I did. I'm going to set this over here to finish drying. But this is how it turned out. So this is that dry embossing paste. And it really adds and anchors in everything else, doesn't it? So I added the mushrooms, a few of the flowers. Can you see the dragonfly, the snail, and the butterfly? Just add those on with dimensionals. Let's cut this down. So we want this to be a total of, so this piece is 5.5. So I'm going to cut down a half. Let's see what this will look like. We're going to cut it down there, and we want this to be, let's see, that may be enough. Nope, we need it 4 1/4. We need it at 4. Okay, so we need to cut this off. And we want it 5.5. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so we want this to be 5 1/4. I'm going to cut the bottom off. Ha! There you go. Now tell me that's not beautiful. That's all we have to do. Let's cut it down. I'm going to add it on my card base with a little bit of okay, liquid glue. How's that? Hey, Susan. Haha. Have you seen this? There you go. Just that easy. All right, that last thing is, this is Love You Lots. So I'm going to trim this down. Maybe I'll trim it this way. Okay, and then there. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals to pop it up a little bit. I've been liking this weather. I hope y'all have. It's been very nice here in North Carolina. Okay. I don't want to cover up our snail, so I'm going to put it right about there. Haha. There you go. Do you see how easy and fun that is? Okay, here's the one that I just did, and it's still a little bit wet. It'll take about 10 minutes for this to dry, so I'm going to let it keep drying. But once it dries, it's hard, and you can see the color has come through. Do you see that? It's kind of a light pink as it soaked up the color from underneath it. But that's how easy it is. I cut out several of these from the dies that I just showed you. Like here's from the flowers, the mushrooms, some of the flowers, and then I showed you that already. But lots of cute little things. So that was a fun technique. You guys should give it a try, and definitely let me know how it goes. Share it here on my... Hey, Penny. Yeah. Oh, hey. You have that set. Oh, well, here. See, look how easy that was. Just use a brayer. Put some of that embossing paste on there. Let it dry. And then just cut out some of these pieces. And like I said, the class that I had last night, we cut out several of the little bugs themselves. But it's a lot of fun to use these. So if you get a chance, this set is just so cute. Look at that little springtime picnic. But anyway, all right, this is not using any of the bugs, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, thanks, Susan. Hey, Pen. A very sweet, short video tonight, but I did want to get this out there. Now, if you've never used the embossing paste before, you want to make sure you go in there right now and clean it off, or it'll dry on your tools, and you don't want that. So, yeah, this embossing paste is a lot of fun to use. I haven't used it in a while, so that's why I was eager to pull it back out. But anyway, if y'all haven't heard already, I know you have, Stampin' Up! Posted their discontinued list, so make sure you get a chance to run over there and look at some of the things that are being discontinued. I bought some just today, some two-tone cardstock, that's from the end colors that are going to be discontinued for a great price, $4.50, something like that. So I grabbed that while I could. And you know, we're getting a different black ink, so I bought some of the Memento and the StazOn ink, and re-inkers were out, so they'll let me know. But go over there and look at some of the things that are on sale. You'll get a great deals on some things. All right, everybody. If you have any questions about anything, certainly let me know. And I'll see everybody next Wednesday. Y'all have a wonderful Easter, and I'll, hopefully the weather's going to be beautiful. Spend as much time with family as you can, and I'll see everybody next Wednesday. All right, y'all take care. Bye bye.